Okay, this is, I think, the fifth time I've tried to make this video about the miscellaneous kinds of journals I keep. Let's hope this one works. So, lots of ways to keep a journal, lots of different ways to focus or have themes, and I'm going to share some of mine. So, this is my book of books. It's a list of the books that I have read. I used to do this and then I stopped and I regretted it. So, I'm trying to catch up. So I started back with books from 2013, and then I thought I just want to kind of start now where I'm at. So I'm starting where I'm at, the books I've read in 2020, and I'm using my library history to do that. So I'm looking forward to filling these pages with books I read. The reason that's good is just for me to enjoy keeping track of the books, and then also if I want to recommend books, I can go back to that and share that. This is a fun one. This is notes from astrology and numerology readings that I've had. Any kind of like therapeutic thing I like to keep in one notebook. And I wanted to show a page. I'm interested in numerology, and it goes like you have a personal year. And so I wanted to make a timeline of the years of my life starting from 2008 and what happened in those years. So the personal year was a 2, and then in 9 it was a 3, 2010 it was a 4. And so do the personal years actually align with what happened during those years? That was kind of fun to do. And then this is a tarot spread. It's fun to take notes on tarot readings that I do for myself. So that's a fun theme. I don't use a lot of little notebooks, but this one was a list of ideas. James Altucher has this idea of keeping a list every day, a list of 10 ideas. And he has a book that has different ideas for the lists. So I tried it, even though I don't think keeping, generating more ideas is necessary for creative people like us. We already have plenty of ideas, but I tried it, so that's kind of fun. This is my garden log, and I love this. I'm a new gardener. I started really, I guess, in 2018 with Steve, and so I use these notebooks from Camp GLP. I have three of them. And I'm able to keep track of the garden. I like to put a map of the garden in there and tip it in with washi tape. I have one of those for every year. So that just makes me happy to see how the garden is progressing a long time. And I just keep notes in here for myself, what we're growing, herbs, flowers, and vegetables. I also like to keep track of how much we spend on the garden. It's like $45 here, $40 there. I just curious, one year it was like $277. That's not really that much. It's not like we're trying to economize on that or see if we can like save money at the grocery store, but it's part of it. We're spending money, and when you're estimating your year's expenses, that goes in there. It's something that you forget. I don't do a lot of drawings in there, but I drew the barrel that we got from Cerebral Brewery down the road and cut in half for barrel planters. I was putting a lot more notes in there this year because I live at the garden now, and just it seems like this was the most successful garden year, and I had more time there. I also used my zip printer to print up some photo stickers to put in there. There's a few more because it's just interesting to see a long time what the garden looks like. We had a soil test report. I put that in there. We just planted some more lettuce here in the fall. So I've still got plenty of room in this probably for next year. And then I've got plenty of years ahead with the same kind of journal. So that will be cool to have that together. This is one of the moleskin. This is one of the well, let's go back to the garden journal. So I showed you a separate video of this. This is the garden sketchbook. So it's just two ways to keep track of the garden. One is more of an illustrated art thing, and the other one I just showed you is more of a log, a garden log. This is one of the Moleskine classic notebooks, a business notebook, and this is for my teaching. This is the outline for my Paris workshop, Capture the Wow. So I teach Capture the Wow and Drawing is Meditation and Magic Journal, Magic Journey, and I want to just keep track of those classes and have like the same, especially for Paris. This was what really started, was just having the same information in there and notes for me as a leader. So this is kind of my leader template and guideline, and it really just helps me to be organized year to year and stay on track of that. And I like having that in one notebook. I teach a ton of classes. Those are mostly just the art related ones in there. This is another kind of sketchbook, and I'll share a video I made of this. This is the travel sketchbook from a trip I took to Japan, and this is a very distinct kind of sketchbook that kind of tells a story of a journey. I love this one with all the fun things put in there. I'll share a link for this one that I made with you. And then there's one more notebook that I wanted to share. This is my financial empowerment notebook, and I started this in 2012, and then I stopped, and then I just picked it back up again. And this is just notes. This one's a receiving calendar, like what you received when, and then the feelings around it. And this was really illuminating because I noticed that I just had a lot of negative feelings about money that came in. It wasn't enough. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't enough. I was irritated. Like, so that was a really helpful exercise for keeping track of like how I felt about the money. I use this to make notes for my savings club with my savings club buddy Lisa. I use this to write down my goals, my financial goals, my expenses, where I'm putting the money, saving the money. Like I just have to write all that down because it's can feel complicated. And I find it having a separate notebook for my finances is really good for me to actually stay on track with that and be on top of that. So I think that's it. I'm sure I'm going to forget something. I'm sure I've forgotten something. There are lots of ways you can use notebooks. Another kind of sketchbook is sharing a sketchbook. My mom and sister and I shared a sketchbook. We passed it around and we had it for like a month at a time and then passed it to the next person. That was really fun. And I thought that I had that, but I couldn't find it, which was a little disturbing. I'm sure you have lots of ways that you keep sketchbooks. So I'd love to know what you do. Like what are some of the ways that you keep a notebook or a sketchbook that help you feel more creative or on track or on top of your life and the things you love? Let me know. Let me know in a comment. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.